The countdown to kickoff is almost here. The world champion Saints are marching into their 2010 season. So let's hear it for the hometown heroes.
Saints history, baby! We're in there!
Sports Special, Destination Dallas.
And welcome to this ABC 26 Sports Special, Destination Dallas. I'm Jessica Holly.
And I'm Jocelyn Lockwood. After a Super Bowl winning season, we're just 1 week away from kickoff at home in the Dome.
Last season, the Saints became heroes Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, but the national media really made MVP Drew Brees the Saints poster child, sending him on a media whirlwind tour.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are, anything your heart desires.
A fairy tale ending to a fairy tale season.
Drew Brees, you and the New Orleans Saints are celebrating your first Super Bowl win. What are you going to do next?
I'm going to Disney World!
Drew Brees kicked off his post-Super Bowl media blitz with a magical Disney experience.
I can definitely say that even as an adult, I'm enjoying some magic right now.
An angelic picture of Brees and his son graced the covers of dozens of publications, including the Mac Daddy of them all, SI.
You ready?
Drew Brees, your 2010 Super Bowl MVP.
Brees hit his target on the talk show circuit. Letterman, Leno, Oprah, Ellen.
Am I allowed to do this?
He's wearing them!
Father's Day, he fired off the first pitch at Yankee Stadium.
Well, at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees have gone out into the field. Here's CC Sabathia sitting there basically just like, can we get this game started, please? Right.
He talked about his dad's day with Leno before the ESPYs, where he picked up 4 awards.
The ESPYs are live this year, so we have to be ready for everything. You got it?
Got it.
Show me Kobe Bryant, Mark Ingram, Landon Donovan, Drew Brees.
I can't find Drew
Look
Brees.
harder, Brees is tricky.
Got him.
In the beginning of July, the QB released his new book, Coming Back Stronger.
So much of this book is about taking different events in your life that is adversity and turning it into an opportunity, taking a negative and turning it into a positive, and creating that mindset and understanding that that's what strengthens you, that's what molds you into becoming the person that you're meant to be.
And if this year is anything like last, the buzz surrounding Brees and the boys will continue.
When I say 9, you say 10. When I say win, you say again. 9, win, win, win.
Brees also caught the spotlight while announcing a Super Bowl ring raffle benefiting Gulf Coast Renewal. Tickets are $2 a piece with a minimum of 5. Raffle tickets must be purchased by September 9th. And to do that, just head to our website, abc26.com.
Well, for 2 small Louisiana communities, Saints' roots run deep. After all, they are the home to 2 of the boys in black and gold.
Yeah, ABC 26 News reporter Blair Arvin has more on the excitement surrounding these hometown heroes.
It's the moment no one in Louisiana will ever forget. Super Bowl champs for the first time in Saints history. Fast forward to training camp season 2010. It's time to do it again. Fan fever has never been so high.
Who that? Read it. Redo that.
Good morning. Here you go.
At a bakery in Port Allen,
Y'all have a good day now. 180.
people come in every morning
2 dozen.
To order sweets and talk, what else?
We're getting ready for some football.
Saints.
Are you excited about the ball season coming up? Every morning I come in, get ready for some football.
Think you're a big fan?
Every morning, every day. Saints must come out this mouth.
Meet Glenda Lewis.
I'm the number 1.1 fan of the Who Dat Nation.
Everywhere you look, it's Saints, Saints, Saints. And this bakery has more than one good reason to show off. 2 of the team's stars are natives of West Baton Rouge Parish. Gracie Porter grew up in Port Allen. Randall Blue Gay hails from Bruley, just a few minutes away. At the barbershop in Bruley, Blue's childhood friend talks with clients about the black and gold buzz.
Blue is the wisdom. Porter, he real aggressive.
The duo is so popular around here, both have the streets they grew up on named after them.
Now, it is not only what these guys do on the field that has the communities beaming with pride, but fans tell us what they really love is that both Porter and Gay haven't forgotten their roots, and they haven't forgotten to give back.
2 heroes motivating and uplifting their hometowns.
I love you dearly. This is for you.
I wish it'd be a 2 Dat for the Who Dat.
Everybody ready.
Let the season begin. Blair Arvin, ABC 26 News.
Great story there, wasn't it?
It was.
Well, it is a comeback story that almost had a tragic ending.
Today, how number 69, Anthony Hargrove, is giving back to the community and helping others stay away from a way of life that almost killed him.
Through the eyes of defensive tackle Anthony Hargrove, Super Bowl 44 was about more than victory on the football field. It was about victory over an addiction to drugs and alcohol that took hold of him at an early age.
But my first drink was I was real young. You know, me and my mom, we drank all the time together.
And although he was a rising star on the football field in his early career, after a few years in the NFL, the world was starting to get a glimpse into the addiction that was controlling his life.
Hargrove left the team, didn't report for practice for 2 days. That's right. MIA.
A failed drug test eventually cost him a year's suspension with the NFL and a trip to rehab where he finally got help and a second chance from the New Orleans Saints.
You know, I made a decision to get clean and get sober and live a different life. And so sticking to that decision and doing that got me from the toilet bowl to the Super Bowl.
Today, with a few years of sobriety under his belt, Anthony knows recovery through the 12 steps still has to come first.
Just doing what they tell you in the steps, you know, being honest, willing, and staying accountable.
And as far as heroes go, his aren't the kind you'll find on the football field or basketball court. A taxicab driver from the Irish Channel known as Taxicab Ron is who Anthony looks to for spiritual guidance on his journey through recovery.
There's a bigger picture involved of being involved with his family and being involved with his friends and enjoying the spiritual growth that he's going through and becoming more mature.
And a big part of Anthony staying humble is giving back, speaking at treatment centers like Bridge House, where he shares his story with fellow recovering addicts. What kind of message was Anthony able to bring, to you and to all the guys here when he came and spoke at Bridge House?
To me, it was a message of hope.
And a powerful reminder to Bridge House graduate Garrick Stewart that in recovery, anything is possible.
And it's proof that it works. He went from the toilet bowl to the Super Bowl. It's proof that it works.
And as Anthony begins his quest for another Super Bowl victory, off the field, it's about staying in the moment.
Taking it one day at a time.
And staying focused on what really matters.
Money's good, the ring is pretty, but at the end of the day, I gotta sleep in the bed. And if I can't sleep good enough knowing that I'm in recovery that day, the money in the ring means nothing.
Catherine Shreves, ABC 26 News.
Another great story.
Yeah, inspiring.
I know. Congratulations to him on his recovery. So you think you are a diehard? Well, are you willing to permanently mark your body to show your loyalty?
ABC 26 News reporter Sheldon Fox found those who are and those who are happy to do the honors.
Brian Mock has that special kind of grimace on his mug, the kind of look reserved for the tattoo chair.
They all about the same, depending on where you get it.
But this one isn't the same.
Lombardi Trophy, the NFL logo.
History is being inked into Brian's arm. At least he's got someone who knows the language doing the artwork.
I've been working in this room for 20 years, so hopefully I've got it somewhat figured out.
English Craig of Freaky Tiki Tattoos in Kenner has been fielding requests of Saints fanatics since the Super Bowl win. Back then, he had a 2-week backlog of fleur-de-lis-loving, black and gold bleeding diehards. And Craig's got this scrapbook to prove it. So does one of his competitors.
I better hurry up and get the Saints Super Bowl champion tattoo now before the season starts.
Henri Montague's Electric Expressions is another haven for fans still high on championship jubilation. He, too, is taking preseason orders from creative hoodats with an inked-up itch to scratch.
She was so happy, she was crying fleur-de-lis.
This was right at the end. Chrissy and I were both hysterical crying.
This grandmother of 5 says it's never too late to get inked up. Despite the disapproval of family members, Linda Walker got her Super Bowl tattoo fix while on a trip to Panama City. Before that, she and the fam lived it up in Miami, catching Super Bowl 44 in the flesh. Pleasure before the pain.
And it hurt, but it was worth it.
Hurt, heartache, grinded out grittiness, and the heaven that comes with heroic back from the dead triumph. It kind of sums up what New Orleanians are all about. Just ask an Englishman.
The optimism of all the doom and gloom that the town seems to endure every few years, whether it's the oil or just bad weather or the crime, or people are resilient. They come back and they have that fighting optimism.
Sheldon Fox, ABC 26 News.
Coming up next, a behind-the-scenes look at how the king of rock and roll gears up to cheer the Saints to victory.
It's burning through to my soul. Monday Bachelor.
So is the king of rock and roll really dead? Well, not if you go to the Superdome every home game.
Yeah, that's where you'll find Elvis cheering the Saints to victory. ABC 26 News photojournalist Jeff Kent shares the king's story.
Hey, come on in, all right. My name is Randy Bonneville. You got to get the puff going. I'm a contractor. I'm outgoing. I love to make people laugh. Back in 2000, my wonderful wife, Dari, found the glasses and sideburns at Party City. And I was really just going to go to one game, dress up and go and see, but got a lot of attention. I liked it. But this is one of my favorite ones because it fits me really good, A lot of people would think, why do you dress like Elvis? For me, it's a lot of fun. Just to see the people's faces, you can tell that they genuinely like it. My wife's favorite outfit is these two shirts because, man, I did a funeral last week. Believe it or not, a lady passed away, Miss B, at my children's school. And they asked me if I would dress as Saints Elvis, big Saints fan, big Elvis fan, and asked me to sing Peace in the Valley. And that's the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life.
Love me. I'm Remy Elizabeth Bonneville, and this is my daddy, Elvis.
You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Don't fall asleep, honey. Don't fall asleep on TV.
He's like a double dad. He's half Elvis and half a real dad.
Give me the keys, baby. I've seen people walk in the game with their head down, just, in their own thing, and by the time I finished with them, talking and everything, they was, yeah, who that? All right, hope it runs. Buckle up, it is the law. But I think a lot of people think I just like to have fun, and they think that I like to support the team, This is me when I was a little boy, probably 18 months, and look what happens to you when you become a Saints fan, baby.
Home games are not the same without him, for sure. Elvis's Saints' dream wish, besides the Super Bowl ring, is to drive his classic car onto the field at a home in the Dome with the team running behind him.
I don't know, we'll have to see about that one. Well, even before the last piece of confetti fell in Miami, Saints fans were already chanting "To Dat," looking forward to the possibility of a second trip to the Super Bowl.
ABC 26's Damon Derensberg hits the streets of New Orleans to see what fans really expect from the Saints this season.
Now what you see here is another ordinary day on Bourbon Street, and I use the term ordinary very loosely, but on February 7, 2010, the Saints turned this street into a sea of black and gold madness as they beat the Indianapolis Colts in Super Bowl 44. Now it took the team 43 years to bring a championship to New Orleans, and most Saints fans think they can do it again this year.
I'm here with Carol from the 7th Ward. Now Carol, I know you're a big Saints fan, you got all your Who Dat gear on. You tell me, why you think the Saints gonna win the Super Bowl this year?
I think they're gonna win because they gotta win. You can't come off of a win like last year and just don't win. Expectations are high, which they gotta come through. Like, you can't get let down, keep getting let down. I mean, they already reached the mountaintop. Why not go back to it?
So now the expectation is they have to reach the mountaintop every year.
They have to. They have to reach the mountaintop every year.
I think every year, every Saints fan, if you're a true fan, is going to want the Saints to go to the Super Bowl. So, you know, we always have to say they're going to the Super Bowl.
What did it feel like to you when the Saints won that Super Bowl last year?
Man, I cried, man. I cried, you know.
You're not afraid to admit on TV that you were crying when the Saints won?
No, I ain't afraid to admit.
You got a woman at home?
Yes.
Well, now she gonna know you're a little sensitive, so you know we put this on TV. She know you crying. She gonna want to see you cry sometime.
Okay.
So it's gonna take the Saints winning the Super Bowl for you to shed some tears.
Yeah.
Now we're not only talking to Saints fans on the east side, we're also on the West Bank. We're here at Public Enemy Cuts in Gretna. It's the place where I've been getting my hair cut for close to 20 years. And here you're gonna find some of the biggest Saints fans in the city. Come on, let's see what they're talking about. Jamal, we've been talking to people all over the city, and we've been asking them why they think the Saints are going to do what they did last year. What's your reason for that? Why do you think the Saints are going to go back to the Super Bowl?
I think we're going to go back because we got Greg Williams for a second year under new younger defense, faster defense. Got our #1 offense coming back.
I was talking to people who said they were crying after the Saints won the Super Bowl. One dude said he never cried, but he shed tears after the Saints won the Super Bowl. What happened to you after the Saints won the Super Bowl?
Well, I was in Miami, so first of all, I couldn't even talk. I was host. See what I'm saying? But I was in the hotel room watching. I did a tumble. I ran down the hall in the room, tumble set it, jumped on the bed, and fell on the other side of the bed. So it was just real. I was just overwhelmed. It was 43 years of thank you, ma'am. Who dat?
ESPN's preseason power rankings have the Saints as the #2 ranked team in the NFL. You may be wondering who the #1 team is, right? Well, it's the team who the Saints beat in the Super Bowl. We're talking about the Indianapolis Colts.
Saints fans are all about the Who Dat. Get ready to hear that a lot.
Yes, that is true. But as ABC 26 News anchor Kurt Sprang says, just maybe be prepared for a different outcome.
From day one of this season's Saints camp, fans picked up right where they left off in February. They all have a big picture of the Saints repeating as Super Bowl champs.
I think they got a great shot at repeating. Who dat, baby? To dat!
All the way, we're gonna redo that.
Redo that, repeat, to dat. Hold on, settle down. It's the big discussion on many sports websites. And while the Saints are getting plenty of respect, other teams have better odds of winning Super Bowl 45. Consider this, in the last 44 years, only 7 teams have repeated, twice for the Steelers. Even more daunting, over the past 8 years, 4 Super Bowl winners didn't even make the playoffs the following season.
All right, I know what you're saying. Kurt, what's up with all the negativity? And you'd probably like to give me your best shot. Well, go ahead.
Well, you look at the odds, and the odds are completely stacked against the Saints. Fans
Gabe Feldman is the director of the sports law program at Tulane's Law School.
Show me the money. Show me the money!
He's training the next generation of Jerry Maguires and other pro sports execs. He says Saints fans at least be ready for a letdown.
I'm not going to do what you all think I'm going to do, which is flip out.
So to think about repeating is not the most realistic goal, but fans are not realistic. Fans are here to cheer and hope for the best for their team.
But there are also good signs. Unlike other Super Bowl winners, the Saints didn't lose many top players to other teams. And get ready for the black and gold to wear a big red target.
And if you have a target on your back, usually a good thing. Good teams have targets on their backs.
So collect your autographs and start a new scrapbook. Just wait to make that last page.
Another Super Bowl, right?
Yep. Another Super Bowl.
Kurt Sprang, ABC 26 News.
Coming up next, an inside look at what it takes to cheer the Saints on the sidelines come game day.
Garland, Rob. AMFM.com.
The Saints Nations are working hard to keep their moves on the field just as interesting as the boys in black and gold.
ABC 26 News reporter Vanessa Bolano takes us inside their practice from Baton Rouge.
Jessica, Jocelyn, these girls have been working hard to jiggle in only all the right places. They know with the season the Saints had last year, all eyes will be on the field. Out of more than 300 Saint Station hopefuls, these are the 32 that made the cut. The girls have been practicing since April. That's longer than the boys in black and gold.
As soon as I hear stand up and get crunk for the first time, I'm going to be dancing my heart out.
To be a Saint Station, the perfect moves go hand in hand with the perfect body. But don't fool yourselves. Tone tushies take willpower.
I love the food, and my favorite is the burgers at Port of Call, so I have to try and stay away from that place, but it is hard.
All the fried foods in New Orleans can really get you, and those cameras are not friendly on the field.
I definitely do at least 30 to 45 minutes of cardio, and then my favorite ab machine and all the leg machines and squats, lunges, anything you can imagine I go and do.
About half of the team are rookies and have yet to dance in the Superdome. The other half are still reliving Super Bowl memories over and over again in their minds.
I mean, you need to cheer on the crowd, you know, but the game is going on behind you, and this is the most important game, you know, of the Saints' history. So you want to watch, but, you know, we are the cheerleaders, and that's our job.
Everyone recognizes you, they know who you are, and they're so excited that they know someone who has been a part of this historic event.
Looks like both the Saints and the Saint Stations came home winners. The first time these girls will showcase their skills to fans at the Dome will be when the Saints play the Texans on August 21st. In Baton Rouge, Vanessa Bolano, ABC 26 News.
Well, it's not just about the touchdowns when it comes to a winning team. It's also about how players maximize their nutritional intake.
ABC 26 nutritionist Molly Kimball went behind the scenes at Saints camp to explain.
So we've witnessed their game-winning performance on the field, but have you ever thought about how our Super Bowl champions fuel their bodies week to week? We caught up with a few of the Saints players after practice to get you the inside scoop.
Certainly nutrition is very important. When you complement that with supplementation, when you complement that with getting good rest, all those things. But certainly, and for me, I have a plan in regards to nutrition, what I'm eating, when I'm eating it, my supplementation, the type of products that I'm taking, and making sure I'm very aware of what I'm putting in my body.
So how does the Super Bowl MVP start his day?
A good breakfast is a must. And what I try to do is I always try to start off the morning with really the three major groups of smart fats, proteins, and carbs.
But not every Saints player follows such a strict regimen. Running back Reggie Bush admits that his diet is not always perfect.
I try not to use fast food as much as possible, but sometimes I break down and I'll go to Sonic across the street or McDonald's or Taco Bell, and I know it's not the healthiest thing to eat, especially when we're training at such a high level. But I would say that's my biggest vice.
But even so, Reggie tries to take care of his body as much as possible with a few key supplements.
Omega-3s, multivitamins, maybe some joint promotion pills, some calcium pills. We need every little bit of edge we can get to keep us healthy, because at the end of the day, longevity is the most important thing in this sport.
Saints team nutritionist Tavis Piatoli says that it's all about helping players maximize their natural abilities.
If we can improve their diet by 10 or 20%, that could possibly translate to that amount of percentage on the field. And it's just simple things like making sure their energy levels are up, their recovery's up.
For one player, it's all about keeping it simple.
But you also want to have energy for the game, so I'm usually a chicken breast, maybe some spaghetti. If I'm getting crazy, I'll go PBJ on them before a game.
During camp, 2-a-days, as well as lifting, they could burn anywhere between 6,000 and 8,500 calories in a day. And really, there's a lot of liquid calories that we try to encourage them to eat, because it's hard to eat that many calories from food.
Taking in enough calories is top on the list for one Saints defensive lineman.
Just the amount of calories I need to take daily. Stuff that I need to put into my body to keep me functioning at a high level.
Whether you're playing for a Super Bowl win or you're just hitting the gym, Saints player Thomas Morstead has words of wisdom to keep you motivated.
I think a lot of people have a pretty good plan. I think very few people stick to the plan.
kind of have to hold yourself accountable every day.
So whether it's minimizing muscle cramps or improving their recovery after practice, even the most well-trained athletes can benefit from fine-tuning their diets.
All right, thanks, Molly. Let's talk more about the fans. This one is one of the most recognizable Saints fans and one of the loudest.
Oh, he sure is. Whistle Monster not only fills the dome with his eardrum-pounding whistle, but also with his fun-filled spirit.
ABC 26 News photojournalist Jeff Kent shares his story.
Starting back when I was 15 years old, my uncle taught me how to whistle. My grandma always told me, God gives everybody a talent. You just have to know what to find it. My name is Leroy Mitchell. I just always loved sports. With that love of the city and the way the city loves the team, it was an easy fit for me to cheer for the Saints. I am the world's loudest human whistler, according to Guinness Book of Records. I came up with the idea basically because I wanted to help the guys on the field. We weren't very good. The 12th man, in my opinion, is to make the home team have an advantage on the hearing. And so I start to come alive as I whistle nonstop. Like every breath I can take, I whistle with my fingers. I have a lot of superstitions. One of them is I don't get painted up here at the house. I've been painted the W because the W stands for whistle and win. That's my spot. I love it. Go to every season. This world-renowned artist, Frenchie, who paints all sorts of stuff. I'm fortunate to have him and this other guy, Jared, a real artist, painting my face now. Painting your face is the ultimate respect that you can give any athlete on a field by going the extra mile. Looks great. I think people like Whistle Monster because I'm very approachable. I think I am crazy for the Saints, and I think that if it makes you feel good and you wake up and you jump out of bed and want to do it again, then you should do it again.
Coming up, so will it take some New Orleans voodoo to keep the Madden cover boy curse away from our saintly quarterback? We'll explain after the break.
Monday, Bachelor Pad is America's wildest new smash.
I think this is going to catch on.
That's giving these bachelors and bachelorettes a second chance at love.
Oh, yeah, he's cute.
But there's also $250,000 on the line.
Go!
And they've learned one thing: trust no one.
You know what they call me? Dangerous.
Because to stay in this game, they'll lie,
I love you,
cheat,
She is sneaky.
and deal.
Is there anything I can do to make it up to you?
Oh, boy. ABC's Bachelor Pad, 8/7 Central on ABC's News Summer Monday.
When it comes to your business or your own personal finances, the key to your success is a close working relationship with your banker. And no one knows that better than your financial partners at First Bank & Trust. With 22 locations throughout Louisiana and Mississippi, your First Bank & Trust banker is well prepared to assist you with all your financial needs. So put the First Bank & Trust team of financial professionals behind you. I'm glad I did, because at First Bank & Trust, your goals come first.
Louisiana families whose hearts and spirits are bigger than any oil spill, ABC 26 would like to say, God bless Louisiana.
Since the Super Bowl, Drew Brees has received dozens of honors.
Yeah, but many believe one of those honors carries a special curse. John Huffman looks at Drew Brees and the Madden curse.
Not only am I in the game, but now I want to cover.
It's undoubtedly an honor to be the Madden cover boy. After all, millions of loyal gamers are addicted to Madden NFL. But then there's the curse.
It works this way. For the last 8 years, whoever is on the cover of the Madden NFL game is jinxed for the next season, including this guy, Troy Polamalu of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It happened to Michael Vick on the cover in 04, then broke his leg and missed 12 games. Donovan McNabb, cover boy in 06, tore his ACL and ended his season prematurely. 9 previous Madden cover boys are said to have suffered the curse. And that worries some Saints fans, like avid gamer Philip Romig.
I believe in it, but I mean, I hope when it comes down to it, it won't get hurt, but everybody else has gotten hurt, so I guess I do believe it.
Even well-known sports bloggers like Walter Cherepinski put stock in the curse. He's picking the Saints to finish second this year, citing the curse. He adds, if he were Drew Brees, quote, I would have freaked out, punched my agent, and jumped out of the building to elude the Madden curse. So we asked his agent, Chris Stewart, if Brees had any misgivings about being cover boy. He says, not for a second.
No, this is the first time that the fans were permitted the opportunity to vote on the game. So Drew looks at it from the perspective that, hey, if the fans want it, then that's what it should be.
I don't think it's going to be a bad thing if it's on the cover.
At Babbage's GameStop, Lakeside Mall, we couldn't find one gamer buying into the curse, at least not this time.
I like the way Drew plays, and he's a leader, so I don't really think we have to worry about it. That's just another accolade or another credit to his, his stat sheet.
Our team is really strong, and I think that if anyone can break this curse, it'd be them.
Welcome to New Orleans. I'm Tom Hammond. Beside me in the booth, Chris Collinsworth. Glad you're with us. We should be in for a good one.
Some say Brees has already broken a long-running curse, the curse of a Saints team that couldn't even come close to a Super Bowl, let alone win one. And with that under his belt, breaking the Madden curse should be a snap. John Huffman, ABC 26 News.
Oh, say it ain't so this year.
I don't believe in the curse.
I don't either.
Silly.
All right, the Saints can always use a little inspiration on the field. That's why they look to a woman who wears the halo.
ABC 26 News reporter Sandra Gonzalez explains.
Who that say we're going to beat them Saints?
Cat Fleury, also known as the Who Dat Cat, may be the perfect Saints fan. I mean, after all, she wears a halo.
Well, I wanted to look like a saint.
Her fandom has not gone unnoticed.
Every team had one fan that went into the Hall of Fame.
Cat was inducted into the Hall of Fame as a Saints fan 10 years ago.
Saints get in you, under your skin. It just becomes a part of your life, a part of who you are.
Cat decorates her house in the black and gold, starting in the front yard with a giant blow-up Saints dog. Anyone who drives by Cat's house can plainly see she's a Saints fan, but what they don't know is behind this door just how much she pays homage to the Saints.
I'll see something, or friends will give me different things, and before you know it, you have quite a collection.
It's an altar to her Saints, who she prays will have yet another winning season.
Who dat? Who dat? We all that. Repeat that.
Sandra Gonzalez, ABC 26 News.
And the Who Dat Cat has been a Saints fan since 1967 when the team was playing at Tulane Stadium.
It is a bird, it's a plane, nope, it is a Saints fan. We'll tell you more about this masked mystery man coming up.
At Wendy's, we say the salad doesn't fall far from the tree.
With sweet cranberries and blue cheese crumbles, you've got the apple pecan chicken salad.
One of 4 fresh new salads from Wendy's.
You know when it's real. We hid cameras in a few Hyundais hoping to get people's uncensored opinions. But a lot of those opinions weren't about our cars.
I drive a Honda and I can't stand it compared to this.
Forget the Corolla.
Better than my Honda.
Way better than the Camry.
I want to give you the car I got in the parking lot. Even trade right now.
That's gotta hurt, but this won't. The Elantra comes with Hyundai Assurance, including America's best warranty.
Right now, new Elantras are only $149 a month or get 0% APR from your Southeast Louisiana Hyundai dealers.
I'm Sheriff Newell Norman with the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. The Wheel of Justice works. It has helped us apprehend some of our most wanted criminals. We are a community that prides itself on keeping our streets safe. The Jefferson Parish law enforcement community and the Wheel of Justice working together with our law enforcement partners to protect you and your family. We would like to thank ABC 26 for helping us do just that. With your involvement, you too can help us clean our streets by turning wanted criminals in.
Get a real value meal. Wendy's Crispy Chicken Deluxe or Double Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe. All with fries and a drink for just $2.99.
You know when it's real.
This year, don't be surprised if you see a lot of people wearing Datman t-shirts. The black and gold symbol is even popular with a star player.
Yeah, ABC 26 reporter Chris Knight has more on the mystery man behind the t-shirt frenzy.
Dat man.
Dat man.
The mask and cape may seem silly, but this Saints fan is serious about what he represents.
Dat man.
Meet Dat Man.
A symbol of the city. That's who I am.
But don't ask him for his real name.
Because like with Superman and Spider-Man, you're not really supposed to know their true identity. It's more of a feeling that you get when you see them.
I see him all the time all around town. I never noticed the Crocs before.
He's repping for the Saints from head to toe, so I guess it's all good.
He might not be a superhero, but his Dat Man t-shirt is gaining popularity with Saints fans.
I've probably sold 4,000 t-shirts so far. The symbol you can see has a fleur-de-lis in it. It represents New Orleans. It represents the whole town.
Dat Man says the symbol represents hope, dedication, and success, much like the Super Bowl champions. And speaking of those champions, Jeremy Shockey seems to be a fan. Take a look. Here's a picture of the tight end wearing a Dat Man t-shirt. Dat Man says the t-shirt design idea came to him on Christmas Eve in 2007.
I was wrapping a Saints gift, and I thought, you know, the city needs a superhero.
Dat Man was born, and others are following.
I think it's awesome. It's all about the city coming back, the Saints, the Super Bowl. I actually have a Dat Man t-shirt.
Dat Man won't stop hitting the streets until he reaches his goal.
To have the whole Superdome covered in the Dat Man t-shirt and come together.
Chris Knight, ABC 26 News.
Dat Man.
And for more information on how you can buy a Dat Man shirt, log on to our website, abc26.com, and click on the links mentioned section. Well, cheering for the home team isn't just for the boys. It's how some female Saints fans have bonded at West Jefferson Medical Center.
The Who Dat Queens are all connected because of their passion for the Saints. ABC 26 News reporter Sandra Gonzalez has more.
Man on the ground, coats going down, Saints take the crown. Who Dat?
These are the Who Dat Queens. Most of them met on the job at West Jefferson Medical Center because they share the same passion, Saints.
You can always tell the day of a game or the day before a game. Our game's coming up because we're all antsy and we're fidgety and we can't stay still.
They're decorating Pam Helmstedter's house from top to bottom because this is where they cheered the Saints to the Super Bowl, game after game.
It became a habit where we kept getting together because we were winning, so we didn't want to change anything. We had the same shirts, same earrings, same, do everything exactly the same because it was working.
They decked the halls with black and gold with fervor many people have when decorating for Christmas.
It's a spiritual renewal.
They could get a bit rowdy watching their Saints.
Beating on the walls, screaming at the top of our lungs. We're all hoarse by the end of the night.
And the Who Dat Queens have lots of rituals, including this one that involves a box and a lot of holes.
We use the darts, and during the game we shove it in his eyes so that he can't see the field. We shove it in his ears so he can't hear the audibles. We stick it in his throwing shoulder a couple of times and, make him burr. He runs.
They even like to kick a little butt on a foam football. It's all in fun. And these friends have fun supporting their Super Bowl champions of the world. Sandra Gonzalez, ABC 26 News.
Looks like fun. Many of the teams trying to knock the Saints off their championship throne are named after birds like falcons and eagles. It would be tough for these ladies to fry up Seahawks and Cardinals, so they'll fry chicken instead. They even have some creative names for their dishes too, like Dirty Bird Rice and some we just can't say on TV.
Coming up, can the Saints to that? What a pair of Pro Football Hall of Famers say next with Ed Daniels.
Monday, Bachelor Pad is America's wildest new smash.
I think this is going to catch on.
That's giving these bachelors and bachelorettes a second chance at love.
Oh, yeah, he's cute.
But there's also $250,000 on the line. And they've learned one thing: trust no one.
You know what they call me? Dangerous.
Because to stay in this game, they'll lie,
I love you,
cheat,
She is sneaky.
and deal.
Is there anything I can do to make it up to you?
Oh, boy. ABC's Bachelor Pad, 8/7 Central on ABC's News Summer Monday.
Today's story from the Ford Model Year-End Sales Event. Rogers Workday. 9 to 5? Try 5 to 9.
every day. That's why Roger needs the Ford F-150. It's the only truck that can keep up with him. Best-in-class towing and payload, and now best-in-class residual value. Of course, Roger would never sell his F-150, even if he had the time.
Now get into an F-150 Super Crew XLT with $7,500 in total savings, or choose 0% APR financing for 60 months. See your local Southern Quality Ford dealer.
When it comes to your business or your own personal finances, the key to your success is a close working relationship with your banker. And no one knows that better than your financial partners at First Bank & Trust. With 22 locations throughout Louisiana and Mississippi, your First Bank & Trust banker is well prepared to assist you with all your financial needs. So put the First Bank & Trust team of financial professionals behind you. I'm glad I did, because at First Bank & Trust, your goals come first.
To all of the Louisiana communities who've lost their way of life, but not their dignity, ABC 26 would like to say, God bless Louisiana.
Eat out a lot? Why pay full price? Save half off with Flavor Savers. Watch Good Morning New Orleans every Thursday. Check out the featured restaurant and buy gift certificates for half off. Flavor Savers, now on abc26.com.
This is an ABC 26 Sports Special, Destination Dallas.
So what are the chances of a TUDAT at last week's Hall of Fame induction that included former Saint Ricky Jackson? That question was posed to a pair of enshrinees who have played on repeat Super Bowl winners. Wide receiver Jerry Rice and running back Emmitt Smith are considered by many to be the best to ever play their positions. They are experts on yards and winning. Rice and Smith each played on 3 Super Bowl champions. Both were on clubs that repeated as champions. Rice said the Saints think they know that teams will be gunning for them, but it will be that and then some.
Get ready, because you're a marked man now, and every game is going to be a physical game. Team's going to bring their best at you, and you got to be able to respond to it.
Hundreds of Cowboy fans wore Emmitt Smith jerseys in Canton. Smith, like Rice, was an ultimate warrior, and he flourished in the correct system. Like those Cowboys, the Saints have an offensive system that is difficult to stop.
The key, obviously, is the team concept and the team belief in the system that we're running and the execution of the X's and O's of the offense. And not only that, but the other caveat is good fortune.
The Saints seem to have plenty of that in 2009. Darren Sharper's interception against the Jets and subsequent touchdown was a 14-point swing. Redskins Sean Sweezum missed a chip shot field goal that would have clinched a Washington win, but his wide right opened the door for the Saints to win in overtime. Smith said good fortunes can also mean avoiding injuries to key players.
Good fortune can just be being healthy. Good fortune can be catching a tip pass and going in for the touchdown. Good fortune can be somebody else throwing an interception when Neil O'Donnell shouldn't have never threw those interceptions to Larry Brown.
In Super Bowl 30, Larry Brown picked off Neil O'Donnell twice. In Super Bowl 44, Tracy Porter stepped in front of this Peyton Manning pass and clinched the Saints' first world championship. The message from two who have repeated: the biggest challenge for the New Orleans Saints is on the horizon. The 49ers repeated in 1989. The Cowboys repeated in 1993. Well, why are the Saints Super Bowl champs? One, they landed an outstanding quarterback in free agency and have drafted very well. Who could be the star of the black and gold class of 2010? Here's Christina Pink.
Rookie tight end Jimmy Graham is trying to keep his mouth shut.
David Thomas said every time I have a quote in the paper that I got to buy him dinner.
But it's tough to keep the rookie away from any media in training camp because his game has been anything but quiet.
He's learning. We're giving a lot to him. He's handling it well. You know, the key early on is getting a chance to see him do things that he knows. You know, each day he does something a little special that stands out.
I'm pretty comfortable. You know, I mean, you know, football's football. You know, obviously with a quarterback like that, you know, he puts the ball right where it needs to be.
The Saints took Graham in the 3rd round of the draft. Hard to believe the 6'6", 260-pound tight end has only 1 year of experience on the gridiron. He was a hoops player at the University of Miami. His basketball background helped him to make big plays.
When there's a jump ball, you know, I think 9 times out of 10 will come down with it. You know, I mean, it kind of feels like a rebound, you know, so I say that definitely translates from basketball to football.
Despite playing at the U and being raised in North Carolina, Graham became a Houdat before he ever donned a black and gold uniform.
Well, my best friend out of college, he ended up moving here, so he's been here for about 3 years now, and I've been coming to Saints games, and so you know, I mean, it's definitely a dream come true.
And Graham thinks he can bring the Saints to another dream season. Christina Pink, ABC 26 Sports.
The Saints drafted cornerback Patrick Robinson in round 1 and offensive tackle Charles Brown in round 2. And in the past, what the Saints probably needed was contributions from their draft choices right away. Now it's kind of like being redshirted in college football. Maybe they can bring these guys along slowly because, for instance, Charles Brown, an offensive tackle, they have a great offensive line. Patrick Robinson, a defensive back, he can learn on the job. So I think it's a testament to the club's depth that these guys are good players, yet they still probably have to wait their turn.
Okay, what do you think about all this Houdat talk?
Well, you know, the Saints are a very talented team with an outstanding quarterback. But at some point, injuries and luck play a part, and I think that's what will decide it.
All right. Thanks so much, Ed.
All right, think you know everything about the Saints? Up next, we'll test your Saints IQ to find out if you're a super fan.
Take 5-minute oil change. Take 5 little minutes. Take good care of the car you drive. All you gotta do is take 5. 5-minute oil change. Take 5 little minutes. Take good care of the car you drive. All you gotta do is take 5. 5-minute oil change. Take 5 little minutes. Take good care of the car you drive. All you gotta do is take 5. All you gotta do is take 5.
Have you been craving traditional Mexican cuisine? Well, satisfy that craving at La Carreta. La Carreta serves all of your favorite Mexican dishes, like tortilla soup, sizzling spicy fajitas, exquisite enchiladas, succulent Monterey shrimp, and much more, all made to order with fresh local ingredients. So spice things up at one of La Carreta's 8 convenient locations in Hammond, Mandeville, Baton Rouge, Laplace, Amite, Denham Springs, and now on Blue Bonnet in Baton Rouge. La Carreta, traditional Mexican cuisine and the official North Shore Hornets Watch party host.
In the laundry room, Mark Olson is joined by that woman from 3C. He's tried before to engage her.
Supposed to be kind of windy today.
But today, he's ready.
You heard about McDonald's dollar menu at breakfast?
She's interested. They talk about the savory sausage McMuffin, the hearty sausage burrito, the premium roast coffee, McDonald's dollar menu at breakfast. A common interest, something to build on.
This could be our song.
Nobody makes breakfast like McDonald's.
Are you quick as a whip? Most importantly, are you smarter than a 5th grader 5 times a week?
Monday at 4:30 on ABC 26.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Black and Gold Trivia. I'm your host, Glenn Boyd. We have 3 contestants who say they know it all when it comes to the world champion New Orleans Saints. We're here to test their knowledge. But first, let's meet our contestants from Chalmette, Spring Franklin. And from the Best Bank, Tim Hand. And this is a face you will recognize, Rockin' Doopsy. Okay, each question is worth 5 points. In the end, the person with the greater number of points will be our winner. You guys ready? All right. First question. Where did the Saints play before they played in the Superdome? Spring.
Tulane Stadium.
Oh, you're right. 5 points for Spring. Who scored the Saints' first touchdown ever? Tim Hand.
John Gilliam.
You're correct. Our next question. What year was Saints quarterback Drew Brees drafted? Tim Hand.
2001.
Tim Hand, you were correct. 10 points.
That was a hell of a guess.
Our next question.
Say James.
No, you're wrong. One more.
Is it Reggie?
Nope.
Reggie.
It is Alfred.
What is it?
Alfred?
Alfred.
Alfred.
Which quarterback led the Saints to their first playoff win ever? Spring.
First playoff win ever? Oh my goodness. It was Aaron Brooks.
Aaron Brooks. That is 10 points for Spring and 10 points for Tin Hand. I think we have a tiebreaker here. Name three of the places where the Saints trained, 3 locations that they've trained in the past years before New Orleans. Tim Hand.
Any years?
Any years.
Thibodeau, Vero Beach, and Jackson, Mississippi.
You're correct. Who's our winner today? The best bank, Tim Hand.
Who dat?
And Tim, you're the grand prize winner of this
Super Bowl 45 tickets?
Yep.
Thank you, Glenn.
You're welcome. Good job. You're a great sports, and thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
A special thanks to the Go for the Goal shop, your home team for the home teams, right off the Gauze exit in Slidell.
You're watching Destination Dallas on ABC 26.
Monday, Bachelor Pad is America's wildest new smash.
I think this is going to catch on.
That's giving these bachelors and bachelorettes a second chance at love.
Oh, yeah, he's cute.
But there's also $250,000 on the line.
Go!
And they've learned one thing: trust no one.
You know what they call me? Dangerous.
Because to stay in this game, they'll lie,
I love you,
cheat,
She is sneaky.
and deal.
Is there anything I can do to make it up to you?
Oh boy. ABC's Bachelor Pad, 8/7 Central on ABC's new Summer Monday.
I'm Garland Robinette. Nothing matters more than this oil crisis in the Gulf. Let's hold these people accountable. Give me 3 hours every weekday, 10 to 1. All that we are is at stake.
WWL, AM, FM, and .com.
When it comes to your business or your own personal finances, the key to your success is a close working relationship with your banker. And no one knows that better than your financial partners at First Bank & Trust. With 22 locations throughout Louisiana and Mississippi, your First Bank & Trust banker is well prepared to assist you with all your financial needs. So put the First Bank & Trust team of financial professionals behind you. I'm glad I did, because at First Bank & Trust, your goals come first. Everyone likes winners. Heck, I like winners too. For generations, your Super Chevy dealers have been proud sponsors of the Saints. For the Super Chevy dealers, it's time for the summer sales event.
Introducing the Saints Edition Chevy Silverado with signature Saints badging, custom grille, chrome package, special edition leather option, and more. Get yours today.
Buy from the Super Chevy dealers. Loyalty you can trust.
And online at superchevydealers.com.
I'm Garland Robinette. We have a new mayor. We have a new police chief. And for the first time in a long time, I'm encouraged. Give me 3 hours every weekday from 10 to 1. Together, we'll fix this place.
WWL, AM, FM, and .com.
And we'll leave you with the sights and sounds of the last Super Bowl winning season.
And of course, let's cheer our boys in black and gold for a second round of success this season.
Thanks for watching, and go Saints!